Michelle, when do you want to get married? This is a salary job. Saving myself for marriage is really nerve-wracking. Hi guys! So I never really record sit-down videos on my vlog camera, but I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers do this recently, and I just feel like it breaks down like a barrier between you and your audience. And that's mostly because today's video is going to be kind of another personal Q&A. I asked on my Instagram if you guys had any questions. I've been feeling pretty distant from you guys lately, and that's half because I didn't post a week in my life video last week, and so I've just been feeling like I need to talk to you guys, tell you guys everything. I also just wanted to ask how you're doing. Are you having a good day? Are you having a bad day? Not just a surface level, how are you, but how are you actually doing? Let me know down below. Thoughts on getting married young. I think it's really funny because a lot of the questions that I got are about marriage and Michelle, when do you want to get married? What do you think about getting married? I'm just gonna give you guys my 2 cents. First off, not planning on getting engaged soon. I know I've been with my boyfriend for a long time, but I am 20 and I know a lot of people right now are getting engaged, but I just want to be upfront. That is not gonna be me. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything against people who choose to get married young. I think that works really well for some people, and I think some people can go from like living with their parents to like being married, and that's totally okay. But for me, I just have so many things that I need to work out as an individual before I get married, and I definitely view getting married as something where you are like completely financially independent from your parents. I believe it's very hard to leave and cleave to your husband like the Bible tells us to whenever like you're not entirely financially independent. Marriage is such a beautiful thing. It's something that I believe is such a God-given institution. I just want to make sure that I enter into that with the right framework and the right state of mind. I'm not someone who believes like, oh, I need to go travel and do all this stuff before I get married. That's definitely not like how I think, but I just think as a person, mentally and spiritually, there are just things that I need to work out before getting married. And yeah, when did you decide to save sex for marriage? So I've done a couple videos on this. Always planned on saving myself for marriage. It wasn't something that like I got into my first relationship and I was like, this is something I want to do. It's just kind of the mindset I've always had, the guidance that I received, and I think that it's been a really wise decision on my part. I'm not judging anyone who makes different decisions. I'm just talking about me personally. I found that the 2 relationships that I've been in, that's something that has really strengthened my relationships. It's made me feel really closer to the person that I'm dating, and that's just something for me personally that I don't know. I really like the idea of being intimate only with my husband in that way, and I think that's something that's really special. How are your classes going? Are you ready for graduation? So as you guys know, I'm supposed to graduate early in May, and that's something that I personally never made the decision to. I just like walked into career counseling center or whatever where they do advisement, and I told me like, hey, your AP credits transferred even though we didn't tell you originally, and you're graduating a year early. And that was kind of just how it was. I've always been someone who's kind of been like mature for my age. That is something that like recently has been really scary, and I know that a lot of you guys watching this are probably in the same boat, and I don't want to be the person who just like gets scared about graduating and fears it a lot, because I don't think that's healthy. But if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, it's really nerve-wracking, especially when all my friends are like still in school for another year, especially when I'm like choosing between a job and YouTube. It's just a weird, I don't think I'm ready, but I've also been praying that God's gonna make me ready even if I don't feel ready. Classes are going well. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been as particular about grades lately. I've always been someone who like values getting all A's and A-minuses, and last semester I tried really hard, got a 4.0. That was something that was really important. But this semester, not that I'm doing poorly, I'm definitely not doing poorly at all. I still study, I still like work hard, but it's just not the #1 thing in my life. What is the best way to show love towards someone? I like this question because she said not necessarily in a boyfriend-girlfriend way, but I think a lot of times we like to show love to people in the way that we like to be loved. You guys have probably heard about the 5 love languages, but basically there are like 5 different love languages, and people resonate with different things, whether that be quality time or gifts, service. Like people feel loved by different things. For me personally, I've learned it's very much quality time. So like if someone keeps giving me gifts because they like to receive gifts, I'm not going to take that as like feeling loved, because that's not how I like to be loved. So I think it's really important, whether you're in a friendship or you are in a relationship, to make sure to know how that person likes to be loved and then work to show them love in that way. Even if it might be different for you, even if it maybe work, like love is work. I think we have this idea that love is this like really romantic thing that just kind of comes naturally, and it's not. That is a bunch of lies. Do you worry that you haven't done an internship? I'm doing one. I still feel behind on my peers. I don't think I worry about me not having done an internship, and the reason being, I think a lot of people look at YouTube and I think it's a hobby, but I'm just gonna be really candid with you guys. This is not a hobby. This is something that is real, and I have asked my friends who've done internships, specifically in like a marketing business setting. I'm not really talking about a finance side, or there are certain jobs where you like need to do an internship. For me personally, YouTube has taught me so much about public relations, negotiating brand deals, working with brands, graphic design, SEO, content strategy. There are so many skills that go into this that if I did an internship, I would not learn nearly as much. Now, a lot of the marketing jobs, they're really looking for people who know influencer marketing because it is so unique and it's so new. So I don't worry about not having skills. I think sometimes I doubt myself and I compare myself to people on a normal path and I feel behind, but I know my heart that I'm not behind. How many kids would you like to have, big family or small? I thought this question was cute in the middle of like all the kind of more deep questions. Maybe this will change. Whenever I tell people, they always say it'll probably change. But I can really see myself having 4 kids. I've always wanted 4 kids. I love children. If you guys have watched my vlogs with my niece and my nephew, I love kids so much. I know they are a lot more work than just like playing with them as an aunt. But I grew up in a big family and I just really appreciated being in a big family. I love growing up with my brothers and my sisters, and that's just something that I definitely want to have. If you weren't a YouTuber, what would you be doing? My dream job, if I could have it despite like maybe not being qualified and all of this other stuff, it is so loud outside, I'm so sorry. I would love to work for Aerie on their branding and kind of content strategy side. I think that Aerie has such a cool mission, and I was talking about it with a friend the other day about how, you know, when you go into Victoria's Secret, you know, you pick up a bra and it's called the date night bra, and that just naturally implies that, okay, this is something that I'm wearing for someone else. Whereas when you go into Aerie and you pick up a bra, you know, it's labeled like the Sunny bra or the Bridget bra, or just something that is made for you. It's not made for you to feel like you need to impress somebody else. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, especially for a brand that makes intimate clothing. I just think that's really special. And just to think about the impact that they're having on girls who are 13 going in to like buy their first bra, that's something that's so deep, and I just think that Aerie as a brand is really cool. Will your relationship help determine what you'll be doing and where you'll be after graduation? Obviously yes. I know that a lot of people have the mindset of like, you know, you should go after graduation and just do what you want to do, be who you want to be, and I definitely think that that's possible, but I have grown so much in my relationship, and being around Aiden has made me such a better person, and I value him as a person and I value our relationship, so I would obviously want to stay close to him. That's something that's really important to me. He actually still has another year of school after I graduate, and so I definitely plan on staying in New York next year. I don't think our relationship will necessarily determine what I'm doing for a job, but I do think that it will help determine, you know, where I'm going to be. How do you afford to pay for an apartment in New York at such a young and college age? Well, I'm definitely still in school, so I don't have to pay for necessarily all the things that you have to as an adult. But I do want to say, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but YouTube is a full-time job. It is like a salary job. Unfortunately, in high school, I knew that I wanted to actually go somewhere else for college, and I wanted to go out state, and so I was very diligent with saving. I saved probably about like 75% of the money that I made in YouTube. And so I'm just so grateful for my 16-year-old self, because I almost feel like I was better with my money then than I am now. So saving a lot, working hard. I also work a lot. You know, there are a lot of times when I have to prioritize getting a video up, working with a brand, just going out with my friends, doing something that may benefit like my social life, saving money, being smart, like investing my money. These are all choices that I make so I can do the things that I want to do and be a good steward of the money that, you know, God has given to me. You might have already said this, but what's your Enneagram number? I probably am saying that wrong, I'm sorry, but I had a friend, I was having coffee with her, and she was telling me all about like the Enneagram test and all the different personality types and how it's so much more than just a personality test. And so I totally got into it. Sleeping at Last also has a whole album that creates a song for each type, and they also have a podcast, and I've just been like really into this lately because it's so interesting to learn why people are the way they are, why they act the way that they do, and it's just so interesting. So let me know down below which type you are, because you should definitely take the test. I'll also have that link down below. You learn a lot about yourself. But I am a 1, which is the reformer, kind of the perfectionist, but I don't think that's like a good word for it technically. Basically, you are not content with things and you always feel like you have to reform them and make them better, whether that be people, whether that be yourself, whether that be your work. And the Sleeping at Last song is so beautiful. There's a line that says, I want to sing a song worth singing, create an anthem, something along that lines. And I just think that that's so true, something that resonated with me, and I just have learned so much about myself. So I'm gonna end this Q&A here. Definitely let me know down below if you guys liked it, if you learned something, if you liked like the vlog Q&A. But I also wanted to say, someone asked me something about what God has been teaching me lately. And even if you don't believe in God, if you're not religious, just something that I'm like learning right now. I talked about this in my home weekend of my life video, but making conscious, specific prayers to God, being very specific with the things that you're going through, the things that you're struggling with, and opening up. And not just like thinking about them, but like consciously asking God, like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with and I need you, and this is what I want, and if it's your will, God, I just pray that you'll provide it. And that's something that I've been trying to do lately. So, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and I will see you guys in my next one. I'm also filming a week of my life video this week, so stay tuned. Love y'all.